Hello and welcome to the Hidden Archives, where we explore the world's most fascinating historical mysteries and archaeological enigmas. I'm your host, and today we're journeying to the high Andes of Bolivia to uncover one of ancient history's most perplexing achievements, Puma Punku, a temple complex whose stone-cutting precision seems impossible even by today's standards. Imagine massive stone blocks weighing over 100 tons, carved with machine-like accuracy, fitted together with joints so thin that not even a razor blade can slip between them. This is the reality of Puma Punku, a site that has left researchers scratching their heads and spawned countless theories about ancient aliens and lost technologies. Today, we'll explore what archaeology actually tells us about this remarkable achievement of human ingenuity and separate fact from fiction in the story of Puma Punku.
Let's start with the basics. Puma Punku translates from the local Aymara language as Date of the Puma, and it's part of the larger Tiwanaku archaeological complex. Built around 536 to 600 CE by the Tiwanaku civilization, a sophisticated pre-Inca culture that flourished in the region, this temple sits at an astonishing altitude of 3,850 meters. That's about 12,600 feet above sea level. Just imagine working in such thin air, where oxygen levels are about 60% of what we're used to at sea level. The harsh conditions make the achievement even more remarkable. Today, Puma Punku lies in ruins, with massive stone blocks scattered across the landscape like a giant's abandoned jigsaw puzzle. Archaeologists believe the site was likely toppled by ancient earthquakes, but even in its ruined state, it continues to captivate anyone who visits or studies it. The complex was originally an earthen platform mound faced with precisely cut stone, featuring impressive architecture that we're only beginning to understand through modern 3D reconstructions.
Now, let's talk about what makes Puma Punku so extraordinary. The precision of the stonework is truly mind-boggling. The builders worked primarily with two types of stone, red sandstone and extremely hard gray andesite. What's astonishing is how they cut these massive blocks with incredible accuracy. The joins between stones are so exact, under 1 millimeter thick, that they fit together perfectly without any mortar, like pieces of a giant puzzle. Some of the most famous examples are the H-shaped blocks, each with about 80 unique faces that interlock with millimeter precision. These blocks are so uniform that they could be interchanged and still fit perfectly, suggesting some form of standardized design or mass production technique that was centuries ahead of its time. But it gets even more impressive. Several stones feature perfectly drilled holes and straight-line channels incised with such perfection that modern observers compare them to work done with power tools. One notable block has a long 6 millimeter wide groove with identically spaced circular holes along it, looking almost as if it were made by modern machinery. And let's not forget the scale. The largest sandstone slab on site measures 7.81 meters long, 8 by 5, 2 by 1 meter, and weighs an estimated 131 metric tons. Several other blocks range from 20 to 85 tons. Handling and fitting such gargantuan stones with this level of precision is a feat that challenges our understanding of ancient technologies.
So how did they do it? This is where things get really interesting. Archaeological evidence suggests the Tiwanaku builders didn't have steel or iron tools. At best, they had simple stone tools and perhaps basic metal alloys. Researchers have found numerous hammerstones at local quarries, indicating the stones were initially shaped by pounding. According to archaeologists, the Tiwanaku masons likely used a multi-step process. First, pound the hard andesite with stone hammers to chip out a rough shape. Many unfinished blocks at Puma Punku still show these pitted hammer marks.
then grind and sand the surfaces using abrasive sand and flat stones to achieve a smooth finish. This method of incremental smoothing, essentially wearing down the stone surface gradually, can produce remarkably flat planes over time. Experimental archaeology has tested these hypotheses. In one study, researchers replicated Puma Punku carving on andesite using Stone Age techniques. They tried various stone tools since bronze chisels proved ineffective on such hard rock. Archaeologists Jean-Pierre Pratzen and Stella Neyer conducted experiments showing that with patience and skill, stone tools can reproduce many of the fine details seen in Tiwanaku stonework.
Neyer managed to carve a small geometric design to a comparable precision, achieving crisp edges and right angles using only stone implements. However, she found it extremely difficult to replicate the perfectly flat interior surfaces of the carved recesses. The team realized that Tiwanaku stonemasons likely had a technique to maintain planar flatness, possibly by continually leveling reference spots as they worked. Microscopic analysis of tool marks at Puma Punku indicates a consistent hammering and grinding process was used, gradually refining the surface in stages and checking for level frequently. Despite these insights, questions remain. No definitive tools have been unearthed at Puma Punku to conclusively show what was used for the finest details. Pratzen and Neyer concluded that some techniques used by the Tiwanaku are still unknown to us, especially for achieving the sharp interior corners and smooth planes we observe. But working the stone was only half the challenge. Transporting these massive blocks to the site presents another puzzle. The geological analyses traced the red sandstone megaliths to a quarry near Lake Titicaca, about 10 kilometers away, while the smaller but denser andesite blocks came from outcrops on the Copacabana Peninsula, about 90 kilometers away, across the lake. This means the Tiwanaku had to move these multi-ton stones over considerable distances. What makes this particularly challenging is that there's no evidence the Tiwanaku had wheeled carts, and the site is above the tree line, meaning timber for rollers would have been scarce locally. Archaeologists theorize that large labor forces were used to haul the stones on sleds or rolled on logs, possibly aided by llama skin ropes and earthen ramps. One hypothesis suggests that teams of workers could have dragged the slabs up gently inclined planes incrementally over years. Interestingly, the shoreline of Lake Titicaca in ancient times may have been closer to the site, potentially allowing some stones to be transported part of the way by reed boats, then dragged inland.
Thank you for joining me on this journey to Puma Punku on the Hidden Archives. This remarkable site reminds us that ancient peoples were capable of extraordinary achievements that continue to inspire awe and wonder. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with fellow history enthusiasts and consider leaving us a review to help others discover these fascinating stories from our past. Join us next time as we explore another hidden corner of history. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep marveling at the incredible achievements of our ancestors. Of course, Puma Punku's advanced masonry has made it a poster child for fringe theories about lost ancient technology and even extraterrestrial help. Television shows and authors in the ancient aliens genre often claim that the site is too sophisticated to have been built by a Bronze Age culture. The perfectly drilled holes and precise geometric cuts in hard andesite, in particular, are cited as evidence of alien machinery or a lost high-tech civilization. Some fringe theorists argue that Puma Punku might be far older than mainstream science believes, suggesting that an unknown civilization or visitors from beyond Earth constructed it, and that the Tiwanaku people merely found or repurposed it. However, no credible evidence supports these extraordinary claims. Archaeologists attribute Puma Punku firmly to the Tiwanaku civilization as the builders. The site's construction techniques, while impressive, can be contextualized within known practices of Andean cultures.
Radiocarbon dating of the mound fill and surrounding context ties Puma Punku's active period to around the 6th to 9th centuries CE, consistent with Tiwanaku's fluorescence. There is no trace of any higher-tech artifacts at the site. No metal blades or machines were left behind, only the stone hammers and simple tools one would expect from that era. While it's true that certain details remain as lingering mysteries, archaeologists generally see these as refinements of technique rather than proof of an unknown civilization. In fact, Puma Punku's stonework has parallels at other Tiwanaku and Inca sites, suggesting a continuum of stonemasonry knowledge developed by Andean peoples. Today, Puma Punku is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site as part of the Tiwanaku complex, and it continues to be studied by archaeologists, engineers, and historians. Modern research, including 3D reconstructions and digital modeling, aims to understand how the blocks originally fit together and what the complete structure looked like. These studies have reinforced just how advanced the site's design was. The blocks were not only precisely made, but also cleverly standardized in dimensions to be modular. Scholars like Protzen and Nair have demonstrated that the site can be explained through human ingenuity and perseverance, yet they also acknowledge that Tiwanaku stonemasons had a remarkable mastery that we are still learning about. Puma Punku thus represents a fascinating blend of established history and intriguing mystery. On one hand, it's a tangible achievement of a real pre-Inca civilization, a testament to the skill of ancient Andean engineers working with stone tools and vast human effort. On the other hand, it leaves us with unanswered questions about the exact methods and sequences the builders used to achieve such perfection in stone. This balance of fact and enigma is exactly what makes Puma Punku so captivating. As researchers continue to study the site with modern techniques, we gain greater appreciation for the Tiwanaku people's ingenuity. Far from needing extraterrestrial help, Puma Punku's creators proved that human craftsmanship circa 1,500 years ago was capable of feats that still astonish us today. Thank you for joining me on this journey to Puma Punku on the Hidden Archives. This remarkable site reminds us that ancient peoples were capable of extraordinary achievements that continue to inspire awe and wonder. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with fellow history enthusiasts and consider leaving us a review to help others discover these fascinating stories from our past. Join us next time as we explore another hidden corner of history. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep marveling at the incredible achievements of our ancestors.